And as we think about open source, we now get to use agents that can write all these thousands of lines of code for us. And the open source model or projects seem to be changing a bit. For example, we've seen Tailwind publicly acknowledge how AI is changing their business model. So in a world where we can create all the software with just a few words, what is the place for open source?
Yeah, I mean, I already mentioned Tailwind as kind of the enabler in a way of this modern revolution, right? And I didn't actually say why, but like I think it's kind of obvious, right? Like you have this inline thing that model doesn't have to reason as far about. Like that's why models love Tailwind, right? So it was, but the debate of sustainable open source is not a new one, right? Like at all. Actually, I think we've made some progress, but it's still not good, and it was never like I think it's an area of innovation. So I think Tailwind as like a selling a paid version of your product, I think that's I actually think there is a way to adopt to this world, right? Like you mentioned that we have been pushing out knowledge around skills. You could imagine that I have a paid skill that goes with my open source library, right? As a model of monetizing. I feel we continue to see like we'll have to see how the SaaS business models over time develop. I don't think we have time to go too much into this. I do want to maybe plug Vercel's model of open source monetization, because I think we ourselves innovated a little bit on this, right? Where our open source, like there's this notion of open core, right? Open core means that you have something that's open source as in AGPL or similar licenses where everyone can run it themselves, but nobody can make a business out of running it, right? So that's the most prevalent way of monetizing open source. We don't utilize this model at all. And we instead say, okay, there's Next.js and all our other projects, which are completely unencumbered. And like, we love it if people make services of selling Next.js hosting, right? But we do sell we obviously sell adjacent services. And for us, we've essentially discovered that it's better to grow the pie than to say all of the pie is ours. We can be the only company doing this, right? And because that limits the size, right? And so we're all about growing the pie.